similar to editable to patch objects are NURBS objects, which if I again create a sphere and then right click on that sphere and say convert to NURBS, now it's going to create a very similar type of result, but a NURBS object uses a different style of curve. And so if I look at the sub-objects of a NURB surface, I have CVs, which I can move around. And this, what happens when I move these CVs around is that it goes into this mode called transform degrade. If I come back up to the NURB surface, I can choose to, if I uncheck transform degrade, then go back into the CVs, I can move them around while the surface is going to update. And you can see one of the things that's happening with a NURB surface there, when I have edge faces picked, okay, what it's doing is it's actually showing me the tessellation of that NURB surface. And NURB surfaces can adaptively tessellate to make up for curvature. And so what happens is, you see, as I bend this this region of that sphere out, it's actually redrawing those triangles to compensate for that more intense curvature right there. And so, again, a little bit better than polys in that it's adaptive now. However, NURB surfaces are a little bit out of fashion now, and the reason is because they can be extraordinarily difficult to model with. It's an older modeling type, and it's a very technical modeling type. And you'll see, like, product design and stuff is very often done in NURBS, cars and bottles and things like that are done in NURBS modeling because it's a very technical, it's a very precise modeling type. But for creating things quickly and free form and in a sort of a sculptorly way, they're not really that useful. And 3D Studio actually has a really good implementation of NURBS, but it can be a little bit complex, and it's probably a little bit too much for an intro. And if we were designing some kind of a product that would need to be, say, manufactured or something, it would be a good way to go. And if you wanted to work in a curved surface, actually, to be honest, I kind of like 3D Studio's patches a little bit better, because NURBS, I have access to these CVs and stuff, but I don't really have access to the individual patches that are bound by those CVs. So I can't simply do, if I wanted to make a complex surface, I can't simply do an extrusion like I can with a patch, or even divide arbitrarily. You can't do it with NURBS. They can be very restrictive. And so if you're working with a surface with a high curvature and you don't want to deal with the problem of polys revealing their segments or edges, then patch objects might be a way to go. But these are two object types that will be better explored a little bit later.